What's going on, everybody? This is Louai,
And this is Tyler.
and this is TNL Sports. Welcome back.
Yes, sir.
I hope you guys enjoyed your long weekend. Um, it's now Monday, December 2nd. It's a snowy day here in New Jersey. Um,
I
you
wish
know,
I got snow.
all my classes got canceled, so I'm chilling.
From the snow?
Yeah, I mean there wasn't really any snow outside on the
What, y'all
ground, but
couldn't deal with the little snow?
yeah, I guess that's how colleges are. I mean, I'm still my first year, so I mean, they just kind of like cancel it whenever they want because there's no
The
government.
snow was probably blocking the door.
It's not that much, but um, anyway, we've got a lot to talk about today, um, and you know, I was disturbed last night. I'm not gonna lie to you.
hmm
I was disturbed.
Tom Brady was throwing a temper tantrum, yelling at the receivers that he wished he had different ones. It was a nightmare for him
On my
in
Twitter, I
in OG
posted a
Stadium.
video of me walking up to the trash can, Tom Brady jersey in hand.
Oh, ho, ho.
It's still up there. It's what's my
Mm.
Twitter again? I forgot my Twitter. Um,
Only you would know your Twitter, I think.
um, but Tyler, you could go check this for yourself. Oh, it's
hmm
at KingLou321. So you go check that, and Tom Brady jersey in hand, and I threw it in the garbage when it was 9-28. I just couldn't watch. Let me be honest with you.
There's no going back from that too. He just threw his jersey in the trash. In the trash. I mean,
I
come on.
I'm sitting there and I couldn't watch anymore. No receivers are getting open. Jonathan Jones getting burnt on every single play by who? Will Fuller and Kenny Stills? Are you
Which are
serious?
very good receivers. Let's be honest here.
Who are good receivers?
Let's respect them. They are good receivers.
One healthy Will Fuller is a really good receiver. But Kenny Stills, I mean, he's fast, but that's
Kenny
pretty much
Stills is
it. His
solid.
route running is subpar at best. All right,
Kenny
let's.
Stills has been a solid receiver in the NFL for years and years now.
Where was this when the Patriots got him from the Browns?
He barely had the Patriots. He barely went to the Patriots. His main tenures with the Saints, Dolphins, and now the Texans. So
Anyway, I couldn't. I was sick to my stomach last night thinking about what the hell I just witnessed on national television. We lost to the Texans, and
I
that
mean
defense. That
that Patriots offense stunk.
I
Let's be
can
honest.
I can understand the Texans offense, it like scoring all these touchdowns.
I can't. Not with that great Patriots defense, apparently. I
I
mean,
can
y'all got to
understand
do better.
Deshaun Watson is special, but then you have but on the defense it's just like malfunctioned. Like the play calling was so wrong, and this is the thing that's special about these quarterbacks. What I've noticed and what a lot of people have been saying is that these guys aren't one-trick ponies. Like someone like a Sam Donald is one-trick pony. He's got one wide receiver. He looks at the whole entire play. If that goes wrong, then boom, the whole play's done. He throws an interception. It's an incompletion, 3 and out. But the thing is that these quarterbacks are smart. Lamar Jackson, smart. You have Deshaun Watson is a very smart quarterback. They have multiple options. They know how to read the defenses. You've seen Deshaun Watson sit there in a press conference and talk about, oh, they got the double blitz under, whatever, like whatever, all this football talk. But, yeah, like come on, like you can't just go in here and think that this rookie this new quarterback, uh, is just gonna be like any other quarterback. The man can read the defenses. He's a very good playmaker, and Bill O'Brien has done a really good job developing him into the great quarterback that he is right now, giving him absolute freedom to do whatever he wants at the line of scrimmage. But it just seems like whenever we go up against a quarterback that is semi competent in reading defenses, we can't seem to, like, I saw this like so many times. We'd blitz Devin McCourtney, which means that what's his name? Stephon Gilmore would have to play back off of DeAndre Hopkins, which leaves
Well,
the middle of the field wide open for
you
these
know
little
how is
slant routes. I can't. I was like
you
that's not
know
the best
how
corner
is
in the game. He'd have to
so
overcompensate for Bill Belichick's terrible play calling.
you know how I was there. I was there at the game.
Oh
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
watching it.
Go ahead and
There was a time.
talk about your
There was a
experience.
time. Yes, my experience was very good. By the way, I can say that I was a part of the Patriots losing because I was making a lot of noise over there in NRG Stadium, along with the other crazy Texans fans. And let me tell you, man, they're crazy.
You said Texans had no
Um,
fans before you went. I
well,
told you.
really, I mean, there was
I I
a
told
lot
you.
of I made a joke when I was there. I was walking to the stadium, and I made a joke. It's like it's insane how many Patriots fans came all the way from Massachusetts to watch this game, which was a joke because
Yeah,
most Patriots fans or some of them are bandwagons.
that's how it
So
was
it was pretty funny.
when I went to the Jets game. Just the
I
overwhelming.
mean, that's a Jets game though. This is in Houston.
Yeah.
I mean, this is all the way across the country. So here we are. I'm sitting in the Patriots and Texans game. And there's one play in the
Oh, I think we lost him. I think we lost him.
on it. He makes a
Wait,
good throw,
can you
and I'm
repeat
pretty sure
that
they get a
again?
first
We
down.
lost you.
Oh yeah, it kind of glitched out. Yeah. So I was watching. There's one play where I looked away, thought the play was dead, but here we go. Deshaun
Oh
Watson
yeah.
broke the sack somehow, and he made a play. It was pretty magical.
That
And
was
there was a yeah.
I think sorry to cut you off, but I think that was the play that really like set the tone for the rest of the game. That play right there, because if you were watching it on television, where you said he looked away, the man, who was it? Jonathan Simon, number 55 on the Patriots. The man had him on the ground.
Yeah.
Somehow, I usually in between plays, I'll grab my phone, check Twitter or whatever. The man has him on the ground, and I'm like, oh, this is a sack. Let's go. And I pick up my phone. I'm look back, and I hear the commentators go like, oh, and he somehow gets out of it, and I'm like, wait, what the hell's going on? And then he goes on for a big, throws it for a big gain, and I'm like, all right, so, and then he just marches the rest of the way down the field for 88 yards, and he caps it off with a throw to Duke Johnson, and
hmm
that's another person we couldn't stop last night. Duke Johnson. Every time we contained the running game, but we couldn't contain the passing game. Whenever Duke Johnson's on the field, we know that this is a pass. This is a passing play. He is a receiving back. But I credit to the Texans. They used him in a lot of running formations. They used him. He ran the ball a lot. So we held them down in the running game, which what I thought was our only weakness. But against a competent quarterback, we just broke
I
down.
mean, yeah. And there's a play, and there's a whole series of a drive, where the Patriots literally just ran cover zero about 4 plays in a row. I mean, it worked the first play. Cover zero worked the first play. They got a sack on Deshaun Watson, or he had to throw it away or whatever. But the 3 other times, I mean, obviously it's easy to read. There's no safeties. They're all in the box. They're obviously bringing a blitz. I mean, I could see that. So they just got it out quick, did a couple screens, couple slants. I mean, come on. Patriots is playing predictable.
And that's what I was talking about. So it would be they would blitz Devin McCourty, the safety, and then they would have Stephon Gilmore has to overcompensate so he wouldn't get burnt by the third best receiver in the game right now. And he'd leave the middle of the field wide open. I'm like, what is going on? Why are we blitzing Devin McCourty? Why don't we just play our normal play?
Well,
Like
yeah.
if we
I mean,
play
it's
a
man coverage all the way across
we
the
play
board.
a man
And
coverage the whole time. Why don't we just keep the safety up and just not let up big plays? And don't even let me get started on the offense. The defense was just a microcosm of what was going on last night with the entire Patriots squad. When I look back at this night, I'm gonna say that this team isn't Super Bowl ready whatsoever. We can say it every time, and me as the biggest Patriots fan, I'm like, yeah. If someone else said that, I'd be like, yeah. Don't doubt them. But team is not Super Bowl ready. Where is the separation? Receivers weren't getting open. Once they bracketed Julian Edelman and they contained James White from getting out in the backfield, who else has
now
got
what?
thrown to?
I mean,
Philip Dorsett.
let's be honest here.
Philip
Half the
Dorsett is
team,
garbage. I'm sorry. He's always injured.
half the listen. Half the Patriots team had the flu, right? Mohamed Sanu didn't look like himself. He dropped about 2 passes that he should have caught. Mohamed Sanu is better than that. I know that for a fact. He's better than that. I think they have Julian Edelman and Mohamed Sanu as two good receivers. Mohamed Sanu didn't play good yesterday. But the Patriots just need somebody to take the top off the defense. That's something that they're missing. Because Julian Edelman's not that guy. Even though he did get a little bit of separation, Vernon Hargreaves made a great defensive play by knocking away. I think the Patriots just lack any kind of explosive ability on the offensive end,
Yeah.
and it's not there right now.
Now, like I don't want to get disrespectful here, but let's look at the Patriots receivers. Let's look at Julian Edelman's whole career. He is a damn good wide receiver. He's definitely a Hall of Famer. He's
Yeah.
he's one of the best receivers to ever play the game, right? Slot receivers at least.
hmm
And just he just comes through in the playoffs. He comes through in the regular season. He comes through in the Super Bowl. This man is reliable. He's a 2010 Camry. He's a
That's the one of the
2010.
guys that you call.
He's
It's
one of
one of the
these.
guys that you.
He's one of these guys who's a crutch, but not to disrespect anybody, but let's be honest here. Without Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, this guy would be on a no name. Like put this guy on the put Julian Edelman on the Lions. Who would have thought to even convert this man to a wide receiver? Who would have thought to even put this man in the slot and just work on what he's good at, his quickness? He every time you see it, like if you look back at clips when he was in his college days when he was a quarterback at Kent State, everybody knows this. He was very good outside the pocket. Now Bill Belichick noticed this, and he could be like, okay, we can use this man's quickness, we can get his hands up, and we can use this guy as a wide receiver. And Tom Brady throughout the years built his trust with Julian Edelman. Now his success is partially due to the fact that right place at the right time. You know what I mean? So this man was drafted at the right place. Tom Brady was at the peak of his game.
I
Bill
mean, for
Belichick
anybody,
was at the
success
peak.
that has to happen.
Bill Belichick was no, but you have like anomalies like.
Most NFL players, they're really talented. They just got to get in the right situation.
But you have like anomalies like Megatron. Megatron was where was he? He was in Detroit. Like this guy was an athlete. That's why he was so good because he was in Detroit and he was still doing good with who no one was throwing to him. He got Matthew Stafford at the end of his career, like the last 2 years I think it was to throw to. But then that was it.
I mean, let's be honest
You
here.
got someone
Most
like a Julio
NFL players,
Jones.
anybody who makes it into the NFL is super talented. It's just a matter of them getting in the right situation to be used in. Because anybody who gets in the NFL, I don't care what anybody says, is super talented. But they just got to get in the right situation. That goes to anyone. Who knows how Tom Brady's career would have went if he didn't end up in New England, you know?
Yeah, but
Who knows how Lamar Jackson would turn out if he didn't end up in Baltimore?
looking back at the
Which we don't know
draft,
how it turns out yet, but...
looking back on the draft, people are like, you think he should have went number one? I still don't think he should have went number one.
Who, Lamar?
Yeah,
Well, it
don't
looks
think-
like it right now.
I don't think the Browns should have taken a Lamar Jackson type of player. I think Baker Mayfield's perfect for the Browns, but
Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson looks like the best quarterback right now.
Freddie
But
Kitchens is not the
time will
guy
tell.
there. But anyway, and to think like in like around the beginning of the season, in the first 4 weeks of the season, the Patriots had a stacked wide receiver core, the best in the league. Who, AB, Julian Edelman, Demarius Thomas, Josh Gordon. I mean, we had the most stacked wide receiver.
I think they got to get AB. I think only Antonio Brown can save this team at this point.
The only thing I have to
They
say,
need to sign Antonio Brown. That's my take.
and this shouldn't be like an ego thing that Robert Kraft should have. He should think about the team. Like I understand, like Robert Kraft, despite his little hiccup over the two off seasons ago, with the whole massage parlor and everything, he's a great owner. He's a great. Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't think that should be illegal, by the way. I think he was just getting it in.
Anyway, we could talk about that for a different time. Anyway, but he's a great owner. He's always thought of the team before himself. That's why his team is so successful. That's why he has 6 Super Bowl rings he's sitting on right now. And if he wants that 7th and he wants that 8th, you need to sign Antonio Brown for at least this season. You need to get someone. You need to get Tom Brady someone who he can throw to. And if I'm Tom Brady and I don't have another receiver to throw to, and N'Keal Harry isn't developing like I thought he was gonna be, I'm
How is he
moving.
gonna develop? He's
I'm
not even
leaving.
playing.
I'm either retiring or I'm going somewhere else. I'm going to the Chargers. If I'm
And
Tom
another
Brady.
thing, this Tom Brady, I mean, this offense is not what it is, right? But this is not the Tom Brady that we're used to seeing. Tom Brady old Tom Brady would have been able to will this team to a couple. He would have been able to put on great performances. But I don't think that's the Tom Brady that we have anymore. I think
Yeah,
that Tom Brady. I'm not gonna say he's washed out, like I said, but like that's a little bit overdoing. But he's not the same guy.
and I wish I could sit here and tell you, like, listen, Tom Brady's a problem. We just need to get through this season. We have another quarterback backing up him. Like, I wish I could sit
I
here and
mean,
say
he's
that
not the
Tom Brady
problem,
is the
but he's
problem, but
not
I
the
can't.
solution.
The team is the problem. Bill Belichick and his drafting choices is the problem. He's never gotten Tom Brady a wide receiver besides Antonio Brown against the Dolphins. Like, we haven't seen what Antonio Brown can do against elite defenses. We haven't seen what the Patriots receivers can do against elite defenses, and we didn't even go up against an elite defense. We went up against Houston defense that just played really good that night. We all know the Houston defense isn't that good. You got a 35-year-old cornerback trying to holding Edelman down the whole game. I mean, come on. That
I
was just
mean,
ridiculous. I couldn't watch that anymore. Um, if you want to see me react to it, and I can't stand the Patriots kickers either. Those dudes stink. I can't.
stink.
I can't.
I mean, let's be honest. Though, okay, he missed that extra point, right?
I hope you
But
caught
they're
that ball, by
legit.
the way,
They
because that
took.
shit was so far left.
No, I did not. Yeah, I was left, but not that far left. But let's be honest here. They took that delay game. I know it's not that big of a deal, but the delay game penalty did hurt that kicker. He would have missed that if he didn't
Yeah, but
have
here's the
those
thing:
five
they
yards.
they were they were looking for something like defensively that they
Absolutely
can see,
nothing.
and they didn't see that one thing that they wanted. Obvious, like they're probably looking for something specific, and they didn't want to burn a timeout, so they took the delay of game. And you'd think an NFL kicker should be able to make a
Oh
twenty
yeah.
yard field goal. I'm
I mean,
pretty
it
sure
was
I
a
could.
37 yarder.
It was what, 37?
Yeah, because
No, it
they added
wasn't.
5 yards as a PAT.
So that make it 25, because isn't the extra points taken from the 20?
No, it's taken from the 15, and it's a 17-yard add-on from the yards. So it's PAT to 32 yards.
Oh, but you'd think an NFL kicker should be able to make that. We have
Yeah.
Kai Forbath. We've ran through Nick Folk. We had Mike Nugent. Stephen Gostkowski was struggling before he got injured. I think I think the NFL has a kicker's problem. Um, this year
I mean,
specifically,
kicking,
it's kind of
honest,
like in the face how bad the kickers are this year. Um, I can think of a lot of people that has
I mean,
missed
it's
kick.
just more. I've never seen this many injuries to starting kickers.
Yeah, but that's what you get when you swing that big old leg around for every single time. Anyway, usually I'd have notes to go by, but I'm just gonna go by what I have on my head this podcast. And
So the Vikings and the Seahawks are playing Monday night tonight.
mhm.
Obviously, tonight's Monday. So what's your pick for that game, man?
I think Russell Westbrook. I'm still thinking about
Ugh.
the Patriots. Anyway, I think Russell Wilson. He's seeing his name getting disrespected. He's like, oh, he's not the MVP anymore. Lamar Jackson's the MVP. Like, easy. I think this is where he's gonna come out and make a statement. He makes a statement right here. He's back, not in the lead, but he's definitely tied with Lamar Jackson in terms of MVP voting, in terms of like what we think of him as an MVP candidate. Um, Now Minnesota Vikings. Uh, Dalvin Cook has been struggling. I only know that because he's gone on my fantasy team, and usually he'd give me like 20 plus points every single week. But the man's been getting me 15, 10, 12, you know, that type of thing. So, um, we know the Vikings defense is great. The the Seahawks offense is great too. So, I think given the fact that this is a national televised game and Russell Wilson is who he is, and we know, don't forget about Kirk Cousins in national televised games because you know
Hey, Kirk Cousins is different this year.
Kirk Cousins national televised games. He's like, okay, now everybody's watching, so let me
Prime time, prime time. Kirk Cousins was born this year. Don't forget about that. He's phenomenal now.
So I think I'd give my picks. It's gonna be, I'd say it's 21 to 28. Seahawks win it.
What was your score?
21 to 28.
21-28.
Three
This Viking
touchdowns
Seahawks game.
to Russell.
Yeah. Wait, you had the Seahawks winning?
Yeah, he
Okay.
throws for three touchdowns
Well,
and they rush for one. Not him, but
I just have
the team.
I don't know. Ever since this Vikings team has turned up, they're in a two-game winning streak, 5-0 at home. I don't know if this game's been playing in Seattle or Minnesota, but that's a big difference, obviously.
I'll check that for
But
you.
I think I don't know. I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Minnesota Vikings. I think the Vikings are getting it all together at the right time. I think if they continue with this play, I think they could threaten some teams in the playoffs.
By the way,
Um,
it's in the it's at CenturyLink Field where the 12th man is currently seated.
yeah.
So,
Okay,
um,
that changes a little bit, but I don't know. I have a
uh,
sneaking suspicion about this Vikings team.
don't forget
Everybody's sleeping on them.
don't forget Thielen is also out against the
Oh,
Seahawks for
Adam
his like
Thielen's out.
fifth
Yeah,
game
that's
or
pretty
something like
big.
that.
Even
So
with all those things, I don't know about this. I don't know. After those things have been said, it's been played in Seattle. The 12th man, Adam Thielen's out. If the Vikings can pull this out, and even if they don't, even if they barely lose by maybe like three or like a touchdown, like you said, I think they can still threaten some teams in the NFC.
and don't
I think
forget,
that people are sleeping on them. They're one game out of their division.
yeah,
Packers 9-3, Vikings are 8-3. They win this game. I don't know if they have the tiebreaker, but let's assume they don't. The way that Packers teams have been playing. So yeah, I got Vikings. I actually got the Vikings winning. It's gonna be a weird score. The score will be 30, 30 to 28.
oh
Vikings
okay.
win. Yep.
And don't forget the Seahawks. This has playoff implications right now.
Oh yeah.
The
I mean, all
Seahawks
these games do for these NFC teams. It's so
the Seahawks
close.
are
You know, you got 9-2, 10-2,
one
eight
game
and
out
three. It's very close.
one game out of the number one spot, and they do have the
And then
tiebreaker over the
yeah,
49ers, so they become the one seed in the NFC, I believe, right? If they win
the
this
what do
game,
you, the 49ers or the
yeah,
Seahawks? They
yes,
might.
I think they become the number one seed let me check the
I
standings.
think this NFC, there's no favorites in the NFC. There is a favorite in the AFC. The Baltimore Ravens are the favorite as of right now. You know, the Chiefs I think the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, you know, that knee's feeling a little bit better. Andy Reid's getting it all together. That defense is coming together. I think the Chiefs could be a threat, but I think the Ravens are the ultimate favorites right now in the AFC. But in the NFC, there are no favorites. I think it's gonna be really close. I mean, you got 10-2, 9-2, 9-3, 8-3, 10-2.
A lot of good
NFC is
teams.
extremely close.
Not the East though.
I
NFC
think it's
East
gonna
is
calm down. Oh yeah, the NFC East
that's a dumpster
stinks.
that's a dumpster fire.
And the worst part about that, right? Someone's gonna win that division. They're gonna get a home playoff game. You know, oh
That's
my
ridiculous.
god. And then a great team could get eliminated by one of these trash teams. NFC East to be eliminated from the playoffs. They're one of the. I think there's a stat. The NFC East this year is the worst division ever so far.
You know, I thought the AFC North was the worst division. Um,
Oh no.
but no, this is on a different level. Um, so how do you
Gosh.
feel about the Steelers? The Steelers are exceeding everyone's expectations. 7-5.
Oh yeah. Mike Tomlin, coach of the year, as far as I'm
Hey,
concerned so
hey,
far.
relax. Okay, we have
As far as I'm concerned,
John
Mike
Harbaugh. I'm
Tomlin,
sorry, John
coach of the year.
John Harbaugh is the coach of the year. What he's done with that team and
Mike
what he's
Tomlin,
done around Lamar Jackson, he's definitely coach of the year.
no, Mike Tomlin, what he's done with that Steelers team, if they make the playoffs, I want Mike Tomlin to be coach of the year. I mean, nobody expected this Steelers team to be this good. Let's be honest. They lost Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, Big Ben went out. Nobody expected this to be this good. And I think he deserves a ton of credit for this team. I mean, that defense is good. The offense is good enough. And here we are. They're in the playoff hunt.
Without
Actually,
Juju
they're in the
too.
wild card
Without
spot.
Juju, they lost Juju and James Conner, and they're still
I
catching
mean, I
wins.
don't even. Yeah, I think Mike Tomlin is the coach of the year so far. And if they make the playoffs and have let's say they go like 10-6, I think he needs to be coach of the year.
You have to also watch out for the Titans. The Titans are not too far behind. They're also 75 in that Texans division, and
Yeah.
the Raiders are still in the hunt if they can get it together, and the Bills definitely a wild card lock. They're 9-3 right now, surprising me at least. Finally, some competition, And I used to look at the Bills and I'm like, listen, that's a free win for the Patriots. Do I even have to win for that? Do I even have to watch that game? But listen, this year
No, next year the Bills. I mean, not next year. Next week the Bills actually play the Ravens, which would be a good game.
that'll be a good game. I
I mean,
think
the
that
Ravens actually have a hard schedule. Like they actually play a lot of good teams.
that's the one thing I'm grateful about the Patriots because the Patriots the remaining schedule after they get done with after they handle the Chiefs, um, they'll have the Bengals. I think they play the Bengals, the Dolphins one time, the Bills one time.
Don't sleep on Ryan Fitzpatrick too,
Yeah, the man's
just because
man's
the
on a mission
Dolphins.
trying to get his next max contract somewhere else so he can rob a team and be ass. Um,
I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick mess around and get you about 4 wins if you keep him in there.
he's playing for a new contract.
Ryan
Um,
Fitzmagic still working his magic with trash teams. Last year was the Bucks, now it's the Dolphins.
so
What a legend.
I know you were in Houston the whole day last
Yep.
yesterday.
I
Um,
missed a lot of good football.
you missed a
Telling
lot of
you.
good football, and you missed a really good game between the. I hope you watched some of the highlights on with the 49ers and Seahawks game. I mean, not Seahawks.
I actually have not, but I know Justin Tucker. I mean, that's just so predictable. Justin Tucker, best kicker in the NFL right now, knocks it through for the Ravens to win.
Lamar
And I
Jackson in
know
the rain,
one thing I also know.
amazing.
It was raining. On the Ravens, three of their four scoring drives. Three of the four scoring drives, they lost it, or they took 6.5 minutes on three of those.
That's
I
that's
mean,
what
that is
happens
insane.
when you're a running offense. You run the ball, you control the clock, you limit the other team's possessions, and you
And
and
that's what makes them so good.
once you limit the other team's possession, that puts urgency on the other team. Like they gotta there's no like, oh, let's see what we have here in this play. No, we know we're not getting the ball back in the next 7 minutes, so we gotta capitalize on this drive. We've got to get a touchdown on this drive, or else we're gonna fall behind by 2 touchdowns. And
And for them to do that,
that's what
and for
happened.
them to do that against the 49ers defense, pretty impressive.
That's what happened with the
Now let's give
49ers.
credit to the 49ers defense that they held them to 20 points. That was also pretty impressive. But the Ravens are just so surgical with how they score, you know?
The
Like they just pick you
49ers
apart left and right.
the 49ers score once, and then 14 unanswered points for the Lamar Jacksons. Um, and then they answer back and they kick a field goal 17-14, and then they kick another field goal, now it's 20-14, and then the 49ers kick another field goal and it's 17-17, and then Justin Tucker walks out with all the confidence in the world and drills one right through the back of the uprights. And great game. If you you missed a great game.
Yeah, no.
Um,
Should have been a primetime game, by the way.
I
Unbelievable.
don't know why it was a 1 o'clock game. It was like, you know what, we've got the best offense going against the best defense. Let's just put it on to one. Let's put it on a 1 o'clock game. You know,
It was a 12 o'clock game, too.
well for you, yeah, but
Terrible.
for the Eastern, it's a one
I mean,
o'clock.
12 o'clock game.
It's a 1 o'clock game, and it's like, come on, man, like that's got to be flexed. But I guess they didn't want to have two primetime games back to back with Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
Another primetime game somewhere. Maybe like a Tuesday night.
I know they do the Saturday night games around Christmas time. So yeah, the Saturday games around Christmas time. Those are always fun because there's always like, oh, I got football in 3 days. 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
2 days in a row. 3 days in a row actually. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. But that's it. There's no more Thursday night football. It's over. And yeah,
Which is, it's good for the
it's good for the
players,
players. Yeah,
obviously.
they get
But
to rest up.
not good for me. Because, football only twice a week. I mean, that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, and I usually mark my week by its ending by like, okay, all I have to do is just make it the Thursday night football, and tomorrow will be a better day. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I got this long
Yeah.
long week, And now it's like, oh, finally Thursday night. That means tomorrow's Friday, which means it's a great day. So, um,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean,
So, what's your Super Bowl pick as of this moment right here, on this 2:05 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday afternoon? What is your Super Bowl prediction?
my Super Bowl prediction. It's a toughie. It's a tough one. There's a lot of great teams in the East and NFC. Let me get my AFC pick. I'm
I
not
mean,
ruling out the
AFC
Patriots.
pick right now, the AFC pick right now should be pretty obvious.
Hold on.
But
You
you
asked
know,
me for my opinion, all right? Let me give. All right. So I'm. Oh, my mic just got muted. I'm not ruling out the
yeah,
Patriots. I'm also not ruling out the Chiefs. That knee is feeling a lot better. I saw Patrick Mahomes a lot yesterday blow
yeah.
out the Raiders. 40. They put a 40 or something on them. And then the Ravens. I'm worried about those. They're definitely the favorites, the huge favorites, to go to the Super Bowl. And the Texans. I'm not really worried about the Texans. Probably going to be a wild card matchup against one of
Yeah,
these
neither
strong
am I, really.
against
I
one of these
mean,
strong
I
teams.
don't think that defense is gonna hold up.
They held up against
So,
they held up against Tom Brady and oh, breaking news by the way, Minshew's back as the Jag starter. They're benching
oh
in
yeah,
um Big
benching
Nick.
their $88 million starting QB that just came back.
Yeah. Anyway, the Jags are a joke after that season. After that season, they went to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
became a joke.
they're my after that season, they're my Super Bowl pick. After that season, I thought they could get it together. That defense was elite, but here we are,
Jalen Ramsey's on a different team
not
right now.
looking too good.
So right now, okay, let me give you a couple of scenarios here. So for the AFC, if the Patriots meet the Ravens in this championship game, which is the most likely what's gonna happen, I think the Patriots win that one. It's not often that you
Oof.
get to see two teams in a row and lose twice. If you're a
Isn't that what happened last time the Ravens and Patriots played, and the Ravens made it to the Super Bowl?
no, I think the Patriots got the regular season win against them, and then they lost in Foxborough. So it was kind of like weird because we went. I think it was 2013 or 2012, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
we went to the. I'm saying we like I'm a part of the team. Patriots went to Baltimore. They got the win. It was a dogfight, and then they come to Foxborough in the AFC Championship game, and they get smoked. Well, they didn't really get smoked. They won by field goal, but you know what I mean. So if the Patriots go back to Baltimore, it'll be because right now, as of right now, if the Ravens don't lose another game and the Patriots don't lose another game, the Ravens have the home field advantage throughout the whole entire playoffs. Because they have the
Mm-hmm.
tiebreaker over the Patriots, obviously, because they beat them. So if they meet up back
Yeah.
again, the Patriots will win that and go to the Super Bowl. Now, if the Chiefs,
Oof.
if the Chief, the matchup I really like as an NFL fan, not as a Patriots fan, as an NFL fan, I want to see Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson because Patrick
Yeah.
Mahomes is my favorite quarterback in the league right now, and Lamar Jackson
And
is a close second, or third, or
I
fourth.
said on the record I think it was a couple weeks ago, if there's one team I think they could possibly beat the Ravens in Baltimore, I think it's that Chiefs team.
That
They have
Chiefs
the
team,
offense to keep up.
the Chiefs team just
But I
gotta
mean,
get
the
healthy. They just
Ravens
gotta
are
get
gonna
healthy.
keep them off the field. Also, something you have to. The Ravens are gonna take a lot of time off the clock, and that's something that you have to take into account with that game.
Yeah. So as long as the Chiefs stay healthy, I think the Chiefs have a really good shot at making it too. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I mean, I'm gonna make a pick right now, and it's gonna the most likely. I've got the Patriots still going to the Super Bowl. NFC, I'm not really worried about the NFC East. I'm not even gonna talk about the dumpster fire that they are. Eagles just lost to the Miami Dolphins, so that just should say everything that you know. 49ers still pretenders. Um,
Are you sure about
they're
that?
10-2, but they're still pretenders. I just can't
I
get
don't know
behind.
about that.
I just can't get behind the way they're using Jimmy G. Um,
Jimmy G's not all that. I don't.
if he was in the
I don't
Patriots
think he got
system,
that.
he would be the greatest quarterback next up
Uh,
after
and then
Tom
keep in
Brady.
mind, Matt Ryan won an MVP with Kyle Shanahan. And what's Jimmy G doing? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but then again, he had Matt Ryan had the best receiver in the game throwing to. So
Yeah, but I mean, Jimmy G has
Jimmy G
weapons
has
too.
who?
Jimmy
George
G has the
Kittle.
best tight end in the league.
Okay, he's got a
So
tight
what's
end.
the excuse now?
He doesn't have someone. It's a tight end, dude. Like, relax. He doesn't have a
Okay,
Julio Jones on his team. Okay, that's
a
why.
tight end
That's most
is a
important
tight
to
end
the.
is always on the field. Your tight end is always on the field. The
Yeah, but he's
receiver gets
not
subbed
always a
out
threat to
every
catch the
few
ball
plays.
every single time. He's always
Yes,
is
he is.
always
I
not.
mean, when they run, he's not.
Or when he just pass blocks for extra protection if they bring in another blitz, bring
All
in
I'm
another
saying
guy.
is,
I'm still saying the 49ers are pretenders. They're not going to get far with the way they play, the offensive side of the ball. The defensive side, if they can really get it together, well, I mean, they are already together, but
I
if they
can only
could
see them going far in
manage,
the playoffs if they get home field.
yeah. And so the Packers, I'm not really sold on the Packers either, and the Saints. On the Saints clinched the division already. Um, the NFC South is garbage too. 3-9, 5-7, and 5-7. So yeah, they clinched the division. Nobody's touching them. Vikings, eh, ah, eh. You know,
Ah,
they're not getting far in the playoffs. Now if Aaron Rodgers turns on his MVP switch that he has always had, and starts playing good these next
Aaron
couple.
Rodgers is already playing well. What are you talking about?
Just look at the times he's lost. He's lost to subpar teams. He's lost to the Chargers. He's lost to the Vikings, I think, and
Vikings are good.
I forgot who else he lost to, but he's lost to another person. But all right, so which leaves me to pick out of the NFC. I'm thinking we get a Super Bowl 47 rematch. It's gonna be the Ravens. No, hold on. What?
You
49.
just
No, I
said
said
you
the
literally
Patriots.
just said the
Patriots.
49ers aren't getting far,
Um.
and then you want to say 47
No, no,
rematch.
no, no. I meant the 49 rematch between the Patriots and the Seahawks. So, um,
Wow. All that time just say Seahawks and Patriots.
I had to give you
Interesting.
my reasoning why. Because I still don't. I'm not confident in the 49ers. They just don't look like a team that Super Bowl ready. I'm gonna be honest. They average like a lot of rushing
So you
yards, but
picked okay. The 49ers don't look Super Bowl ready, but you picked the Patriots to go to the Super Bowl.
do
Who
you
look
know
worse
who's
than the
on the
49ers?
Patriots?
Who look worse than the 49ers?
Hold on. Do you know who's on the Patriots?
I
Despite
already
having a
told you he
bad
doesn't.
game,
I already told you. Tom Brady does not look like the same guy that we're used to seeing.
he doesn't have to be the same guy. He can just
Yes,
turn
he
on that
does.
switch to be
For
looking like the
this
same
team,
guy.
yes, he does.
He can turn on the switch whenever it's a close game by the defense keeping it close. Okay, all he has to do is just have one good drive in the end of the game, and Tom Brady will be a 7-time Super Bowl champion. That's all he has to do. He can play
I
like
mean,
complete garbage.
Patriots.
He can play like complete
There's no
garbage the
way
whole game.
This Patriots team makes it to the Super Bowl
They
without
said
home field
they've
advantage.
been saying that for 5 years, and Max Kellerman has been saying. That's another thing. Max Kellerman finally came on Twitter. He goes like, "Oh, this is." He tweeted some BS out, and he was like #Cliff at the end of it. I was like, "Are you serious, bro? Like, your
Well,
Cliff
his
prediction?"
prediction is finally coming true.
Yeah, a half decade later,
Exactly.
I could have predicted Tom Brady. I'm like, it's like saying like, all right, it's like saying, all right, here we go. LeBron James' cliff is coming soon, and he doesn't slow down until he's 40. Until like he averages like career low numbers when he's 40 years old. Like he's been saying this for 5 years. Like he's don't like 2 Super Bowls later, an MVP and a Super Bowl MVP later. For these accolades, 5 years later, he's like, "Oh, finally the cliff is here." Like, yeah, I could have predicted that LeBron James would dip in his performance 10 years ago, and he's still going strong. And then when he
All I'm
finally has
saying
a
is
bad
that I
season,
don't think Tom Brady can hold this team to another Super Bowl.
get him a. I don't know why we get rid of Josh Gordon. Get him a Josh Gordon type receiver. Get him an Antonio Brown type receiver, and you'll see what can happen. He's thrown to
Yeah,
Jacoby Myers and
I mean, it's
Philip
gonna take one
Dorsett.
of the all-time great receivers to save this team. Antonio Brown.
Not even. Just get him someone that can just be fast. Just get him a fast person. I'll
Philip
take Kenny
Dorsett is
Stills.
fast.
I'll take Kenny Stills back. I'll take Will Fuller,
Philip
please.
Dorsett is that guy that's supposed to be fast. But they sat
His
him.
route running is trash. That's why you just sat him.
It doesn't. You don't need to have route running to just run the straight line.
This isn't
I mean, I
Madden,
could
okay? You
go out
can't
there
just
and do
send the
that.
guy on a. You can't just send the
You.
guy on a fade
That's
route.
literally what you can do. That's what the Seahawks do with DK Metcalf. They just send him on streaks.
Because he's fast.
It works out pretty well for them. Exactly. That's all you need to
And
be.
he
Just
can.
you don't need route running.
And he's
Just run the
strong.
straight line.
He's a big body. He just gets people out of the way. You've
You
seen him,
don't
man.
have to be a big body if you can run past him.
You can run, he runs past them, and then when
That's
he gets
Tyreek
it,
Hill. That
he can. Oh, Tyreek Hill has got another gear that nobody in this entire NFL has. Okay, so I wouldn't even. If you get Tom Brady, Tyreek Hill, oh my god,
Oh my God, be quiet.
oh my god. If Tom Brady has Tyreek Hill, remember that Madden League we did, and Tom Brady was throwing like for 1,000 yards per game, and I had Julio Jones. I mean, not Julio Jones. I had
That stuff was
AB,
on
AB
rookie.
and OBJ on my team. That's how it would be. That's how it would be if he had Tyreek Hill.
Bro, you literally had Odell and AB. Of course you're gonna throw for that many yards.
That league was fun. We should do another league like that.
No, that was whack.
Bro, you putting up numbers too. What are you talking about? With Matt Ryan.
Yeah, that's because of Matt Ryan, though. I mean, come on.
Shut up, bro. Matt Ryan's so overrated. Don't even look
Shut
at
up.
that. Dude,
If anything, is he's criminally underrated right now.
it's
And by the
criminally
way,
under.
that Falcons and Saints game, that is the most fun I've had watching. I've had watching a losing game from the Falcons. That was such a fun game to lose.
Young Ho
Not
Koo.
only did we go farther into the suck fest, but we also recovered 2 onside kicks on one game, which is unheard of. It was amazing. I was freaking out in the living room. I was going crazy. And if our O-line didn't stink, and if Matt Ryan if Matt Ryan had a good O-line, you know how good he would be.
Subpar at best.
All right, shut up. Jeez.
But yeah, I mean, the dude got sacked 9 times, and that's unacceptable. It was frustrating watching Matt Ryan get sacked that many
The
times.
last 4
I felt like
seasons,
I was
Matt
playing
Ryan.
Madden.
The last 4 seasons, Matt Ryan has had like maybe like 2.5 seconds to throw the ball in the last 4 seconds, which is like in the bottom of the league pretty much. And that was in his MVP season, which when he ended up getting sacked in the Super Bowl. That was our downfall, of course. The O-line lit it up, and then Devontae Freeman didn't pick up the block on Dante Hightower. So you hate to see it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the Falcons for you.
So
They still haven't recovered off that. Super
yep,
Bowl.
it's a big disappointment.
They still haven't
And
recovered.
I just want Matt Ryan and Julio to get one ring. That's all they just need to get a ring. Matt Ryan and Julio, if they retire, they both retire, and like somehow or one of them somehow leaves the Falcons without winning a ring. It'd be terrible.
That'd be an injustice to.
They need to get a ring together.
That'd be an injustice to how good they were.
So yeah.
Yeah. What about that David Blau kid that you saw on the
The Lions.
the Lions?
I mean, he played pretty well for a third string quarterback,
He's got that.
but
He's got that Tom Brady-esque in him.
mm,
I've seen it. I've seen it before. It's in his eyes. He was calm under pressure. He was like, you know what, I got this. I've never been in a situation before, but I got this. And he kept up with the team until the last quarter, and they let him out.
bird dog, bird dog.
The Bears are trash. They were really good for that one season. Then Mitchell Trubisky was like, you know what, I'm gonna head out.
Bird dog.
But yeah. What else have we got to talk about? Let's talk about the NBA for a minute. Let's talk about.
Is there really anything to talk about in the NBA?
Yes, of course.
It's like the same. It's like the same week over and over again.
Yes, of course. Let's talk about this new guy. Okay, this new guy in the Nets. After this other
What's
guy.
his name?
This other guy went down. I think we should trade, and he stepped up, and he's
Who are we talking about on that here?
let's talk about number 8. Spencer
Number 8,
Dinwiddie.
Spencer. Spencer from iCarly.
Yes, sir. So right now, the man's averaging. Where is it? Where's his points per game? Why is it impossible to find his points per game? Oh, the man's averaging 20 points a game with six. Where is it? Why is this so impossible? There's so much of this extra stats here for no reason. All right. With 4 steals, no, 4 assists. Let's just round it up to 5 because it's 4.6. Apparently, I don't really. Oh no, it's right here. So 5.9 assists per game and 2 rebounds a game. So you know, the man's going off.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that X factor to him. That he can just turn it on
Yep.
in the last couple of seconds of the game. He's really carried the Nets over this last 9 games that Kyrie's been out, and um,
And that's a better what Spencer doing when he didn't with
a lot
Kyrie.
of people have speculated that the Nets are still might want to bench Kyrie and have Spencer Dinwiddie start in place of him.
Oof, that would
Um,
take a major. I don't know if Kyrie might. Yeah, that ego hit that he would take right, that would be terrible for him.
that would
It would be.
essentially prove
That
every
would
single
ruin.
person right.
I
Um,
mean, that wouldn't. I mean, they'd probably be better. I mean, Kyrie. I mean, let's just say that Kyrie hasn't gained his chemistry with his Nets team yet. But if they actually, I don't think they would. But if Kyrie actually gets benched, imagine the beef that Kyrie and the Nets would have.
yeah,
And I don't think they should do that because they should.
they should
You
just
know,
try to everything
they could get a championship with Kyrie and KD.
they should try
They
everything they can um to keep Kyrie happy until KD comes back. Because
And I
once
think, I mean, people are overreacting a little bit. Yeah, Kyrie, he brings up a whole new play style when he goes in a team. But, the man can still ball.
yeah,
He put 50 on any given night. I think they just need to give him more time with the Nets. Hopefully he can gain that chemistry with them.
and all we have to do really is just keep him happy until KD comes back. And then once KD comes back, that's KD's team. There's no question about it. There's no one going to be like, is this KD or Kyrie's team? There's no question about it, man. KD, when he comes back, that is his team. That is KD's Nets. Okay, there's no question about it. If Kyrie gets upset, oh well, go to hell, dude. It's like we still have KD because either way we can find another point guard. And Kyrie is one of my favorite players in the game. So I'm not saying that as to
Mm,
curse
yeah.
him out or something. But yeah, Spencer Dinwiddie's been on a hot streak. Trae Young has been on a hot streak despite the 10 game losing streak.
The Hawks think
If I'm Trae Young,
trash.
I'm pulling 2K and I'm requesting a trade um, after this thing. Think about
He's
it.
about to sign for 1,000 VC with the Lakers.
Yeah. um, yeah,
38 minutes a
bet you all
night.
his play style, his development will go down given the fact that he's gonna be playing with LeBron James. But anyway,
I mean, obviously he's not going to get the ball as much. I mean, LeBron and AD. Why not?
speaking of LeBron and AD, they just lost to a young Luka
To the
Doncic,
Mavericks. Hmm.
who's currently averaging a triple double right now. 30 point.
Yep.
He's averaging a 30-point triple double, nearly a 30-point triple double. It's like 39 and 9, but we can just round up. I'm not a math major or anything,
What?
but we can
What? You're
round it up.
saying right?
And yeah, they have
Best sophomore we've ever seen in the NBA.
best
Just
rookie
saying.
we've ever seen in the NBA.
Best sophomore.
Best rookie and a sophomore. He won Rookie of the Year, which is great.
No,
And
MJ was the best rookie.
I guess you could say that. Oh yeah, he's Luka's the best rookie
Sophomore.
recently. Best rookie recently.
Sophomore.
All right, yeah, but
Louai.
I'm saying he's the best
Yeah.
rookie. All right, you don't have to keep saying sophomore. You can't even spell the damn thing. All right, dude.
Sophomore.
Listen,
Thank
buddy,
you very
spell it
much.
all you
Thank you for
want.
your time.
Spell it all you want. I don't even know how it's spelled, so I don't even know if you're wrong. So,
Shut up.
who else is on a hot streak? Oh, Giannis, MVP again, no question about it. 30 points per game, like 13 boards and like 4 assists. The man's MVP again. I don't care what LeBron does. He can average just 25 and 11 all he wants, but he's not gonna beat out 30 and 12, 30 and 13 every single game.
You're right. His 25 and 11 will end the better record at the end of the year. Will
Yeah, well,
beat out Giannis.
the Hawks, not the Hawks.
And now people are sleeping on James Harden again. James Harden MVP again. MVP should have been MVP last year. MVP so far again this year. I don't think
I
Giannis
think
should have
he's
won it
doing all
last
the,
year. James Harden should have won
I
that.
think he's doing all this hoopla, scoring like 40 points a game at the wrong time. Okay, if he would have done this
Best
like,
scorer, one of the best scorers ever. Best scorer of this generation.
um, I definitely think that Kobe Bryant's the best scorer of this generation. But if James Harden keeps
I
this
mean,
up,
not in like the 2010s. James Harden, I think he already got that.
if James Harden keeps
Kobe.
this up and wins a ring, I'll give him best scorer title. I have no problem.
I mean,
I have no
he doesn't have
problem
a
saying
team right now. I don't think.
what.
I mean, James Harden is the team, so we'll see.
Russell Westbrook has been kind of quiet. Um, his numbers have
And I
been
mean,
down.
of course, anybody's gonna be quiet behind that 40 points every single game from James Harden.
But Russell Westbrook's efficiency continues to suffer. Um, it's like
I mean, that's the kind of player that we knew Russell Westbrook was, and here we are. I don't see why we should be surprised. He's
I'm not
shooting his
surprised,
40,
but I'm saying
40, 20, 70 splits.
I'm saying that he's definitely an impact. He still impacts the team in a very positive way, but I just wish he shot a little bit better. You know, but we'll see. The
Yeah, but
Rockets.
he's probably not.
The thing is with James Harden is that as much of a bucket getter he is, I feel like he's doing this all for no reason. Like it's hard to win games in the NBA, but that's the thing is that he hasn't found any playoff success because why? Because he's always running out of gas in the
Because Chris
playoffs.
Paul got injured.
No, he's always running out of gas in the playoffs. He's
James Harden would be an NBA champion right now if Chris Paul didn't come down with a strained hamstring,
But you're
pulled
talking about
hamstring,
the
whatever it was.
James Harden being the team. Why couldn't he be the team when Chris Paul was?
Well, I mean, Chris Paul is a major contributor. Chris Paul is the second guy that they went to as the point guard. That was Chris Paul himself. Chris Paul was, one of the leaders of that team. Great defense, great passing, good shooting. I mean, come on now. Chris Paul is still a top 10 point guard in the NBA right now.
Ooh, I don't know right now.
Right now. Look what he's doing with the Thunder. He's doing pretty good.
Oh, I like being out of the
He is
playoffs.
overpaid, but he's not
Like,
overrated.
what is he doing in the Thunder? Like,
Bro, you act like... Is that Thunder team supposed to make the playoffs?
not that I know of, but
No, they're
they
not.
should be close. They have a great team too. They still have a great team. The core
I
of
mean,
the team.
they have a good team, not a great team.
The core of the team is still there.
Maybe a decent team in the West.
Yeah, if Shea Alexander keeps dropping them buckets and Danilo Gallinari is clicking. I think he's injured right now, right? Danilo?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I haven't watched any Thunder games. I forgot all about Chris Paul anyway. Who else has been on a hot streak? So we talked about Luka.
Cardiac Kimba.
He had one good game in the past.
Pascal
2 weeks.
Siakam.
Oh, Pascal Siakam.
By the way, the Raptors are the second best team in the West. In the East right now.
Talk about one of my favorite players, Pascal Siakam. The man.
The Raptors are the second best team in the East at the current moment.
Crazy. They should. Again, they're a great regular season game.
A game and a half back from the Bucks.
They're a great regular season team. I think.
Well, this is a completely different Raptors team. This isn't the DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry running to LeBron every year in the playoffs.
Oh,
They can't do that anymore this year.
Now it's gonna be Giannis's Raptors because that's what's gonna happen.
I mean,
Because
I
Giannis.
think they could play him. I think they could play him pretty well.
And yeah, like what was I gonna say? Kemba Walker, not bad. He had a 30-point night against the Nets. So
39 points.
yeah,
And Kyrie had 0. A lot of Celtics fans would say.
it's hard to have points when you when you can't come off the bench because you're injured. Because you're injured.
Didn't even show up.
So you,
Unbelievable.
um, you know, I was gonna think about. I was gonna talk about this earlier in the podcast, but now that we've kind of run out of gas into like topics to talk about, this one's coming across my Twitter timeline. Is the NBA is planning to incentivize tournament winner with an extra draft pick? How do you feel about the NBA tournaments going on? They said that the tournaments would usually in between Thanksgiving and mid-December. Um, but a lot of teams have been skeptical about the tournaments given the fact that there's already 82 games, and
Hmm.
this would just add another factor. And quite frankly, I don't think the teams would even take it seriously. The tournaments, they would just let their scrubs play, or sign some G leaguers and let them play. Um, so how do you feel about the tournaments?
Um, I don't know how I feel. I feel like they would have to take some games out in the regular season if they wanted to do this. I really don't know how this would even work, how it would fit with all the other stuff that happens. I really just don't know how this would work. I don't know how they plan to implement this into anywhere. How long is the tournament gonna last? How many teams are gonna be at? Like all the teams, or like I don't know. There's a lot of questions. And I
Well,
think a lot of teams
the
are
thing
skeptical
says
because it's extra games that they have to actually try in.
the thing says is NBA is planning to incentivize the tournament winner with an extra draft pick. So I'm
What do
guessing
you mean
it's
an extra draft pick? What does that
so.
even mean?
Oh yeah, I don't even know what that means. It's gonna be
How can you have an extra draft pick? Like they adding picks now?
there'll be like 62 picks, or maybe
I don't know.
instead of the
I
60th
don't know what's
pick,
going on
it'll be
here.
the 61st pick, and then they just get one in between there.
Maybe if you get last place, you lose your draft pick.
Oh,
That'd be
that'd
something.
be that'd be
Like
something.
team that gets first place gets your draft pick, and then all of a sudden, the Hornets, the Bucks win the Hornets draft pick and get the number one pick.
Yeah. That's not. I don't know how this would.
I don't know. That's pretty far fetched.
I think that
I don't know.
they should
I think it's
shorten the
pretty
regular season
weird.
though. So
I don't know. I guess I mean yeah, because the regular season doesn't mean much to this point. A lot of fans know that. Um,
and
it's kind of boring. It's kind of just like longed out. It's not like the NFL season where like every game matters. The NBA season just takes
yeah.
forever, and yeah,
I mean, you can even see players right now they're just playing for the playoffs, like Kawhi Leonard.
yeah.
He's taking games off, resting his body because he knows his team's good enough to make it in the top four, top three teams in the West. So it's not. It's like
And even me, I'm like, I'd like watching the NBA, but like regular season basketball is just like I'd rather watch football. I mean, let's be honest here.
yeah, but yeah, you know,
The real basketball starts after the All-Star break. Yeah,
and even a little bit after that, not just right after the All Star break, because it's like everybody's just getting back into the swing of things after being away from basketball for like 2 3 weeks. Um, so it's like in the beginning of March, I'd say that's where real basketball starts, and then obviously it goes up to March and April.
well, I'm talking about all together, the regular season starts coming together
Oh
after the
yeah,
All-Star break.
you'll
Teams
start
actually start making their playoff push.
you'll start seeing we'll start seeing people you'll start seeing teams like who's the fakes and who's the real
Yeah.
contenders. Because right now, you have the Dallas Mavericks up there in the West, and I'm not so sure that they're like a like a championship contender, obviously. So,
Suns in the playoffs right now, by the way.
yeah,
Eight seed. Pretty
I
crazy.
think the Nets are in the playoffs too, being a seventh seed. So,
Yeah, they're like 10-10, like something like
10 and 11, they just lost yesterday. So,
that.
um, yeah. You have
No, they're
anything?
still 10-10.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in the seventh seed. 76ers are a dumpster fire, even though they're 14 and 6. But yeah.
Pistons, who I chose to make the playoffs. They don't have Reggie Jackson right now. Hopefully, he pushes them and they make the playoffs because I chose them to make the playoffs. Yeah,
Um,
that'd be great.
I don't see anybody. Oh, what the hell? I don't know. The Heat are 14 and 5. God damn, I didn't even notice. I didn't even know that.
Hmm.
I don't see anybody here dropping out of the playoffs for the Pistons, Tyler. Um,
Um, maybe the Magic, but
maybe, but even the Magic are still a solid team.
probably maybe the Heat. Maybe the Heat lose some heat after the All Star break. They start taking some smells.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
They have a great bench. So Bucks definitely a number one seed lock. 10-0 right now in their last 10 games, and they've won like 12 straight, I think. So they're on a roll. They're rolling. The Hawks are 0-10 in the last 10 games. So
The Knicks stink.
Cavaliers are
I thought they
garbage.
would be better this year, but
The
with
Knicks?
the addition of Julius Randle, I
Oh,
thought they would be better.
yeah.
But their main scorer right now is Marcus Morris. I mean, like, come on, like they should be developing young people. Instead, they have like a 10-year vet trying to carry them, which is clearly not going to work.
Yeah.
They should work on their young talent.
And I chose R.J. Barrett to be the rookie of the year, but apparently that's not gonna happen because they keep giving the ball to
Didn't you
Marcus
choose the
Morris.
Bulls to make the playoffs?
The Bulls? Me? No, I said they would be close to making the playoffs. I mean, I guess we can look back
I
at the
mean, they haven't
podcast.
been playing good.
So I thought they would be at least somewhere eighth, ninth seed, is what I said. So
They've been horrendous.
yeah, I thought they would play
Hornets,
a lot better.
big surprise, ninth seed right now. 8-13. A lot of teams, a lot of players, or a lot of people thought they would be worse than this so far,
Yeah, I thought.
but
I
here they
mean,
are.
personally, I thought that they were the worst team, especially since you want to go out there and they lost. Who did they lose on that team? They went to the Pacers.
They
Um,
lost. They lost.
he's a shooting guard.
I know his name, Jeremy Lamb.
Oh yeah, Jeremy Lamb. Yeah. So.
Also lost Kemba Walker.
Oh
Signed
yeah.
Terry Rozier to a $20 million deal. By the way, Terry Rozier isn't even the best point guard on the roster anymore, with Devontae Graham coming up.
Yeah. It's like what do you call it? It's like they're the Jaguars of the NBA.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, the Hornets never even good to begin with, so that's kind of disrespectful to the Jaguars.
Yeah.
So,
They were good at one point. Um,
I mean, yeah, they made the playoffs,
not in my
and
lifetime,
yeah,
but yeah.
probably the wrong Hornets too. You're talking
Oh yeah, I am talking about the wrong Hornets. I'm talking about the
about
New Orleans
New Orleans
Hornets. I'm
Hornets.
stupid. All right. Well, do you have any final thoughts, concerns, comments, predictions, takes?
Um, Not really.
Anything you want to get
You
off your
know,
chest? How was your
um,
Thanksgiving?
it was pretty good. Oh, one thing I do want to get off my chest. People, you know how they did this with DeAndre Hopkins last year. Actually, not even this is to this extent. People talking about Michael Thomas winning MVP. Please, come on now.
MVP? I've never heard
Come on,
anybody
yeah.
say that.
Everybody's talking about all the Saints fans, even a couple commentators. Michael Thomas, they're talking about Michael Thomas being the MVP. Come on now. I mean, I get it. He's the only good receiver. That's why they force feed him the ball. But like, and all these stats that he's getting, I mean, come on, they're force feeding him. This is ridiculous.
I mean,
I mean,
you
there's
live in
he
Louisiana, so
all he does is run like little like short routes. The man has barely any speed. His route running is good, but like all his throws are literally short passes.
well, you live in
He
Louisiana,
is
so you
like
probably get
he
a
is
heavy
like
dosage of that every single day, like talking about just
I mean
Saints
not
fans screaming themselves
not
about.
even not really. I mean it's really just like and even like NFL commentators, like Instagram people, the people on Instagram that be tripping out. Um, he has like 40 more catches, right? But he literally has like 200 more yards than the next guy. So I mean, come on now.
Especially at the end of the game, when Drew Brees is like goes into stat padding mode. It's like, okay, now it's time to stat pad and get my.
Hey, don't think I didn't see Tom Brady stat pad yesterday.
He wasn't stat padding. It was clearly an effort to get back in the game. There were 2 touchdowns.
I mean, you can say that
I've
about
seen,
Drew Brees
I've
also.
seen Tom Brady. Okay, listen. He starts first of all. Drew Brees stat pads when he's like 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. Now. Let me tell you something about the Patriots. I've seen Tom Brady score 2 touchdowns in 53 seconds one time. So that wasn't far fetched what they were
And
doing last time.
the Patriots late scores, I have to blame that on the Texans crowd. Me and myself included, obviously. The fans they stopped cheering. So
Because they thought the game was over, but you never count the Patriots
I
out.
mean it was
If
over, but like
Brandon Bolden gets that ball, yeah, you're looking at another great comeback That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
He had 53 seconds left to score another touchdown, and
I'll tell you that Texan Stadium last night, it got loud, and that definitely propelled the Texans to a victory against the Patriots.
they kept on playing that stupid guitar song after.
I was in the stadium, and it was 72,000 people in there, Lloyd.
It
When
was
there's
sold out.
like when the majority, yeah, it was the Texans' record actually for most people that they actually had in a game.
Yeah, I heard. I
Like
heard through the TV. It was like the guy at the end of the game was like,
it was
the
quite
PA
amazing.
announcer was like, "Oh, we have a brand new record, 70 something thousand."
Yeah, 72,000, something like that, something crazy. And when you have the majority of 72,000 people screaming at you, trying to get you to mess up, I mean, it's something special. Let me tell you, I experienced that firsthand. It was pretty amazing.
I still haven't been to a
Um,
sold out. Oh, actually, I've been to one sold out event. And it was Game 7 against the Bulls, 2013 against the
hmm
Nets. And that, you talk
Yeah,
about some of the greatest experiences. Game 7 is something that you'll never forget. And that's something I
yeah,
like. It was a first round Game 7 too. Imagine if this was a NBA Finals Game 7.
yeah,
I remember this like it was yesterday, man. I was 13 when this happened, and throughout the playoffs, a player, I don't know if you know him or not. His name was Gerald Wallace. He wore number
yeah.
45.
Of course, I
He
know
had
who Jared
dreads.
Walls is.
Um, and he was struggling making threes throughout the playoffs. And it was just like this guy was like he was scared to take a three, and then we were down by like 9 or something. Um,
hmm
so he comes down the court. Darren Williams is out. Who was our backup point guard? No, I'm pretty sure Darren Williams was there. Darren Williams
I
passes
don't
in the
know.
ball. No, it was Joe Johnson. Joe Johnson was playing point guard. Joe
Yeah,
Johnson passes in the ball, takes a three. Boom! The whole entire arena explodes. Right? Next possession,
yeah,
they get a steal. Down on the fast break. They give it to him again in the same spot. Everybody stands up. Everybody's like, three! Bottom! Oh my god, the whole stadium, like, we took the top off the Barclays Center. This is the first year, too, that they were in the Barclays Center.
yeah.
We took the whole roof off of that place. And then, Joe Johnson decides to not play his game and scores 3 points, and we
hmm
lose game 7.
Man, I
To the
have to say
Bulls.
about this NFL game that I went yesterday. I love the atmosphere. It's quite amazing.
See, I wish
Saw a little bit too many Tom Brady jerseys for my liking, but it was all right.
I wish I experienced a NFL game indoors, because every time
Oh
I've
yeah,
went to
it's
one,
different
every
inside a dome.
every time
Cause
I've
like
went to one,
I feel like it's louder inside a dome.
well,
You
obviously,
know,
because they have the roof closed.
the conditions are perfect every single game you play. So
Every time I've went to a stadium, it's always been obviously because football is played during the cold. So I went to Patriots games against the Jets twice in my life, and every time it's been cold. So when it gets cold, everybody in the stands is like kind of like huddles up and just like sits down and watches the game for what it is. And the last time I went, like, okay, you can make a case for like the Patriots game against, like, in this year it was like 33-3 or something like that. But the last time I went, it was like a pretty close game. It was like 17-16 or something like that, and the Patriots won. It was a close
yeah,
game. Everybody was just like huddled around because it was like literally the day before. It was 20. It was December 22nd or something like that. So it was like really cold. So everybody was like had their hands in their pocket. No one was making any noise. So,
oh
but
I
the
know,
pregame
and
though, pregame it
I
gets
can
really loud.
say yeah I can say that I contributed to the Patriots losing. Um, Pretty amazing. You know they had the noise meter going up with a big screen
That
in
shit's
the
fake.
game.
You know that, right?
No, but it really wasn't because literally it wasn't the same. If it was fake, it'd have the same numbers every single time. But it actually no, it didn't.
I know the NBA arena has the fake ones because like one time I was at a Nets game and they put the meter up and we were getting blown out by the Wizards, and they put like, let's make some noise. It was like the score was like 2-18, and they're like, let's make some noise, and everybody in the crowd was just like silent, like, why would we make any noise? We're getting blown out 2-18 with
I
in
thought the noise meter was actually accurate though, because like literally, it showed different numbers every time, like depending on how loud it was, obviously. So it got pretty high up there. It got like the 110. It was pretty alright.
We'll definitely one day experience going to a. Me and you, we gotta go to a Saints game and a Falcons game.
Saints and Falcons game.
Yeah. One day
Mm-hmm.
when we have some money in our pockets and a
So,
place to.
NFL game's pretty good, man.
Yeah. I'd like to go see Matt Ryan get sacked 9 times on Thanksgiving.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's gotta be it for us. Hour and 10 minutes. If you made it to this part of the podcast, then you've got to be like one of our best fans. If you made it to this part, because sometimes I'll be watching our podcast, Tyler, and I don't even finish it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't watch it.
Okay, maybe that's not the best thing to say.
I don't even watch my own videos, so here we
Yeah,
go.
you should because their videos are trash. Follow him. And actually, don't follow him.
No, subscribe to my YouTube channel,
Don't.
Vintage Speeds. Can't say I'm posting quality content, but you'll
You're
be here
not,
for
because
it.
I'm telling you, bro. Those Madden videos you be posting, bro. I can't hear you. You gotta turn down the volume, dude.
The game volume.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
hear you. It's always like the commentator's always like, "Hey, he gets the first down," and like, oh, he goes like, "Oh, and he gets intercepted," and then you're in the
Went from
background
here,
like,
no game volume.
and you
So-
go like, "Oh my god," and like I can't even hear you. Anyway,
Went from here, no game volume to hearing too much game volume.
that's gonna be us. That's gonna be it for us today on TNL Sports. From me and Tyler, we wish you all but the best of luck for the rest of the week. And thanks for listening. And this has been TNL Sports. Goodbye.
Bye.